Hello, kindred spirits, and welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and together we are going to be diving into many different decks to see what Spirit has to say for you right now. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful kindred spirits and any other magical souls that have made their way here. It's wonderful to have you here. If you like the content that I do on this channel, such as pick a card readings, charm casting, art magic, and the like, I put out new readings every single Monday, so you're welcome to subscribe as we move through the piles here. Speaking of the piles, we are going to be doing something very, very different. I've never done this on the channel. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, so I would love to hear your feedback. But we are going to be playing around with different tarot decks, different decks for every pile. So if you enjoy this, if this is something you'd like to see in the future for spirit readings or others, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, so we're gonna look at the piles here in a moment so you can choose which ones are for you. But I also want to just remind you, if you would like to support the channel, especially as we hit the new year, definitely feel free to check out the Kindred tip jar. Everything that goes in there goes right back into the channel through the different decks and supplies that I have here today to do readings like these. But if you also want to look into a New Year's reading, I should have those coming up very soon. And I also have a few more spell and ritual papers for Yule, but I'll also have some more in the new year as well. So all of that will be listed down below if you're curious or you want to get into anything like that to support the channel. And I also want to mention one last thing. I won't be doing a reading next week just because of the holidays, just because Christmas actually falls on a Monday, but I will be back the following week, so stay tuned. In the meantime, you're welcome to check out all of the other videos that I already have put up recently and see any of those that you've missed. But we're going to go ahead and look into the piles. So for each of the piles here, like I said, it's a little bit different. So I have where you can choose a specific crystal, but also each of the piles are going to have very different decks. So you can also choose it based off the decks here. So I'll tell you what each of the crystals and the decks are. So the top one here, we have the crystal of rose quartz for group 1. So you can choose off the crystal, or if you're feeling the fancy feeling of the backs of these queer tarot cards, then this might be the deck for you. As for pile number 2 here, we have this piece of Carnelian. But if you're not really feeling the Carnelian, or you're not entirely sure, you might be choosing it based off the deck here with this very red and very bright sunsetty or sunrise colors of the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. So that's pile 2. And here for pile number 3, you have the choice of choosing Sodalite here. It also has a little bit of something else in it as well, but Sodalite, as well as the tarot deck of the Gentle Tarot. So that is pile number 3. So as always, before you start heading off to the piles or to the timestamps, I like to give you a moment here to really connect with yourself, connect with your intuition, and to take a deep breath here with me in just a moment to really connect with spirit. So let's go ahead and take that deep breath together here now. And as always, there's no right or wrong way to choose your piles. You can choose multiple decks, multiple crystals, multiple piles here. You can flip-flop between them, change your mind. There really is no right or wrong way here. All the timestamps will be down below in the description alongside the chapter marks of this video. And like I said, if you want to look into any of the different offerings that I have or the Kindred tip jar, it'll be down below. And as a reminder, I will not be doing a reading next week just for the holidays, but I will be back the following Monday. So with that all said, let's go ahead and look at pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this little piece of rose quartz or with the queer tarot for your tarot deck of choice here today, then we're going to go ahead and get right into it, as this is the pile for you. We are going to be playing around with not only a different tarot deck for each pile, but several different oracle decks, and I'm not even sure which ones we're going to be using specifically here today. I might even grab some more. So we're going to just play around, but do let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy this, playing around with different decks and just seeing how spirit comes through within the decks, within, connecting with your spirit and mine, or with spirit more openly with gods, goddesses, spirit guides, and the like. So if you do enjoy this, do let me know as we go through. But all of the decks and supplies will be listed in the description down below as well. But we are just going to get right into it. So clearly we are going to be using the deck of Choice by Spirit for you today with the Queer Tarot. So we're going to see how that comes forward for you. And also at the end of the reading, we're going to be doing a yes or no question. So do cook up a question as we move through the reading, or if you already have one in mind, stay tuned for the end because that's when we're going to be doing the charm cast for that. But let's see just what spirit is bringing forward, and definitely feel free to bring your own energy forward, invite any guides, light a candle if you'd like to, really get into this, and let's see what spirit is bringing forward for you right now, just generally. So group 1, what does spirit wish to tell you? Group 1. Oh my goodness, the cards are very they almost feel not aggressive, but very I don't know how to explain it. I want to see what cards you get and see if that makes a difference. So, okay, guarded, that totally makes sense. Not very aggressive, but instead defensive. So here we are with the 9 of Wands, a very defensive energy, an energy that is about boundaries. It's about placing boundaries, right? Creating boundaries, creating space for yourself. But also in doing so, sometimes we can hold ourselves back from the things that live beyond those boundaries, right? So there's some sort of wiggle room here that's being shown, but I want to see how that comes up with some other cards. What else do you wish to share with group 1 spirit? So here we are, first off, not only with the 9 of Wands, but we're also coming in hot with the 10 of Cups here, a very idealistic card. And then we also have here the 2 of Swords. So right off the bat, these are the things that I'm getting. First off, visually, if we're looking at this, we can see sort of like a rainbow, and then the rainbow with this flooring here, and then the rainbow coming back over. And the rainbow represents our spirit. The rainbow represents our connection to spirit, our soul. And so when I'm looking at this, there's some sort of all of them are kind of working together, right? This is kind of chill, this is kind of chill, and then there's something cutting through it, as you can see right here. And the 2 of Swords is all about kind of embracing the unknown and embracing making a decision right off the fly, right? Going off your impulse, going off your intuition, and letting spirit kind of help guide the way. As you can see, the rainbow does continue, but it continues, without being visibly seen, right? It's believing is seeing kind of feeling. So I feel like spirit is trying to tell you right now that there's something that you are maybe currently trying to make a decision about, or trying to choose a path or make a decision, right? And you're maybe needing a little bit of that guidance about where to go. So maybe that's why this is coming up. Maybe that's why you're here. Maybe that's what the yes or no question is about. Otherwise, I feel like they're just telling you, let your own intuition take the reins. Let spirit take the reins and help guide you forward through this decision, this opportunity, this split in the, fork in the road, and see where it takes you. Because right now, standing still, even though it might seem idealistic, even though maybe keeping to what you know has kind of gotten you where you are so far, this is all about stepping into the unknown. This is about seeing and believing in what can lie beyond what you already know. Because yes, things might be idealistic. Maybe you don't want to change. Maybe you don't want to take this new path or take the risk because you're really good where you're at right now, right? You might be doing really well, or it's going to shake something up. It's going to change things. And even if you want what is on the other side of that change, even if you want the benefits that happen on the other side of that change, doesn't mean that change isn't scary in and of itself. Because it means it's going to be changing what is comfortable, what you've gotten comfortable in, what you have found, safety within, right? And all of that is totally fair. All of that is totally valid. I don't think spirit so far is bringing this off very aggressively, like make a change, do the thing. But I do think they're just telling you like, hey, I'm holding your hand. I'm helping you through navigating some changes that are coming in and making the decision to actually step forward into them. But I don't feel like they're going to make the change without you, right? I don't feel like this is an external change, something completely outside of your control, right? You do hold the reins, but I do think Spirit is telling you like, hey, you can steer, you can change course, and that's okay. I'm almost seeing that change course even more in this card as well, because you can see like this shifting of water here, like the like a river is even changing courses, right? A river is never going the same all the time, right? Even if it got comfortable in one direction, it's still going to change course. So we're going to see what else you have coming in here, if there's other things that Spirit's bringing forward or anything else. So let me see, which deck should we proceed with? I'm feeling called to the Spirit of the Grandmothers for whatever reason. Maybe it's the rainbow. Could be just a subconscious choice there on that end, but regardless, this is the one that I'm feeling, so I'm going to see what else Spirit has coming forward. This one also showcases very specific spirits that are coming forward, like nature spirits. So could be that a nature spirit is bringing, nature spirits are all about change. So we're going to see if they have anything else they want to share with you. Definitely feel free to send your energy in. As always, I know it seems silly, right? But it really does make a difference in the moment here with me. So, group 1. All right, so the first one that you got here, and I'm not sure if we'll pull any more for you, you have Grandmother Rosemary. This is one of my favorites, and it's Source. Look at how beautiful this card is, first off. It is the number 8, which is all about infinity, and it also is about kind of a bit of harmony and abundance. So it says, more than what you see. Oh my goodness, that's what we've already talked about. Ooh, I got chills. Okay, more than what you see, remember who you are here. Your form, love itself. Kind of butchered the end there, but regardless, this is what it says if you want to read it again. But more than what you see. And we were just talking about, this is the card that's really popping out for me. About changing course, believing is seeing, right? Sometimes we have things, literally real things, concrete things, that we think are magic, that we think are, way beyond what we know. And even if they're staring us right in the face, it doesn't mean that we believe in them, right? We can look at a fact that is hard and objective and there's no way of changing it, and yet we'll still not see it, or yet we'll still think, oh no, that can't be, even when it's staring us right in the face. So believing is truly seeing when it comes to certain things. And sometimes even if other people are seeing, wonderful qualities in us, or seeing different paths for us, or seeing something outside of us, from the inside, sometimes it's hard. So where is the source of your doubt right now? That's what I just got from Spirit. Where is the source of your doubt? Because there's something you're maybe doubting in your future, something that you really want to go well, something that you're definitely going to benefit from for making changes for, or redirecting your path, or changing shape in the river that you are bending. So where is the source of this change coming from, and how is their doubt sort of holding you back there? Also with Grandmother Rosemary, it talks a lot about our connection to source, our connection to spirit. And like I said, spirit really wants to hold your hand. If you maybe don't really know a specific spirit that you're working with right now, whether it's a god, goddess, if it's a loved one beyond the veil, angels, or the fae, or whatever else it might be. There's hundreds, thousands of different possibilities there. Definitely feel free to check out the videos that I have out on kind of narrowing that down. Otherwise, we're also going to be pulling some charms, which might give you some information there. But it definitely feels like Source is trying to talk to you in some way. Some sort of spirit is trying to talk to you in some way, and they're really trying to show that they want to hold your hand to help you even connect with your intuition and strengthen your own connection to your intuition as well. So that infinity is making me think too that, like, they've been here for a while, right? They've had your back for a while. This is not someone new to you. That being said, obviously I want to keep looking further. I want to see what else Spirit might have for you here. So let's pull at least a couple more cards. Which deck? I think we might choose the Spell Casting Oracle here. This one's got a bit of a more magical vibe. So I want to see where that magical source is. Maybe how you can connect with Spirit even further, or how you can navigate this even further. Okay, so those two cards definitely make a lot of sense when it comes to even where it's positioned on this Ten of Cups. Right, I don't know if I really talked much on the Ten of Cups, but the Ten of Cups represents like the ultimate fulfillment, the things that are going to ultimately fulfill you. Yes, we usually showcase like this idealistic family, but it doesn't have to be family. It could be in career. It could be in, learning how to play the guitar. It could be anything that's going to really truly fulfill you and make you feel like not only successful, but also like whole or just like filled to the brim and more. And what it's being shown here and where maybe this is pertaining is around career, and not only career, but how maybe pivoting or changing could help you to get more prosperity. Maybe right now making this pivot is scary because it really has a lot to do with your financial, standing and how, that's given you a lot of safety, a lot of security, a lot of protection. And making this change means that sometimes you're going to have to get out of that protective bubble. We even have this rainbow here again, so cute. Okay, so we even have that showing up, and then beyond it lies prosperity. So it really feels like Spirit is almost showing you, more than what you see, and what we see right now is just in this bubble, just in this sort of rainbow that we have here. And if you even look at these two pictures, they look very similar, right? With the two trees and plants here. So that's all you're seeing, but Spirit or Source here is trying to show you how you can reach a little bit beyond that, how you can go beyond that and break those barriers that you have in career, that you have around prosperity, it's going to give you more freedom too. Look at all these birds up here. That's what we're really seeing beyond this card, right? All these birds. I'm also seeing like a mountain, a sunrise, this like peaceful water. So all together, what I'm really getting from your cards, because I don't think I'm going to pull any more. I honestly feel like this is what we needed to get here, is just number one, Spirit is trying to hold your hand. They're just trying to talk to you, trying to grow a connection with you. That's number one. But number two, they're also trying to help you to build a bridge towards something that is beyond what you can currently see, something that is going to be an opportunity that has already arisen, or something that's coming in towards career, towards finances, towards prosperity, towards your own fulfillment that is unknown now, or at least the consequences to taking that opportunity is unknown now, but will soon be revealed. And it's going to get you out of your comfort zone, but I feel like Spirit is telling you it's worth it. It's worth the uncomfortable, awkward stage. And believing in yourself is a big key to that. So that's really what I'm getting here, but I do want to pull some charms, as always, to just get a little bit more information in case there's anything else coming through, or anything that can give you some indications as to which spirit might be coming through. And then we are going to move on to your charm cast here for a yes or no question. So definitely have that question brewing if you haven't already. But we're going to pull a couple of charms first, and then we'll move to that. Okay, we had one charm that fell on the ground. So we have the letter D showing up here over on the tree, or on Source here with the letter D. I'm also going to zoom you in so you can see a little bit closer. What I find interesting is the correlation between the birds up here and then the bird that you have down here. And here in the base of the bushes, kind of looking almost like, how this card kind of feels, right? Being kind of in the thick of it, safe, at the base of the bushes where no one can see you, no one can get to you, nothing can happen to you. We have the bird hanging on the branch here. And I always see this as like hesitation, right? This bird is totally open to flying, right? They can totally fly. They know what to do. And yet they're staying on the branch. They're not flying. They're not free just yet in their ideas or where they're going, right? They're still having to hold themselves back. And then over here on the birds that we have that are free, that are flying, that are beyond what you can see, we have the rose-colored glasses, which is kind of interesting because usually the 10 of Cups can talk about that rose-colored glasses feeling, that feeling of not seeing things perfectly clearly, seeing things almost in like a honeymoon phase feeling, right? Where you're not really seeing things super clearly, you're seeing them almost overly optimistically or positively. So I can see that like Spirit is telling you that it's not going to be perfect, that you're not going to get like everything you ever wanted from, taking a leap of faith here. But I do think that they're showing you that it's up to you whether you want to stay here or if you want to go up here. And I think that they're just telling you that it's up to you. And at the end of the day, it really is your choice. But there definitely is more that lies beyond the bushes you are in right now. You also have the number 3 showing up here, which usually represents collaboration or teamwork. So again, Spirit really wanting to work with you, but that's been kind of closed off for a while. They have either you've had a distance there, or you just haven't really seen them for a while and they're really showing back up in your life, because we do have the sort of frozen charm. So I feel like they've been trying to reach out and maybe not really getting as much response. So this is a really good time to reach out to them. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up for your yes or no question to be answered, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I have it all set up here with yes, no, better, and maybe, as well as try again in case it lands there. So we're going to see the answer to your question. This is a collective reading though, so take this with a grain of salt, right? There's a lot of people here. We're just seeing the majority answer. And you can use this as a tool rather than a hard, true fact, set in stone, yes or no. So with that in mind, definitely feel free to send in your specific question into the charm right now, and you can pause and meditate on it if you'd like, but we're going to go ahead and see the answer. So the answer, with Spirit's help, for group 1 is, okay, a like really big hop all the way over, better. So it's going to turn out better than you think. So it's not just a yes, it's not just a no or a maybe, it's better. So whatever you are thinking right now, whatever the optimum best answer is for you, it's going to be even better than that, right? It's going to be even more than what you can see. So I love that you got that one. I'm very excited to hear from you down in the comments how you enjoyed this reading or how it connected with you. Any spirits that you even saw coming forward, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you did enjoy this reading though, also do be sure to give this video a like. It really helps the algorithm, really helps to support the channel, and it's very simple to do, so thank you. And obviously that's if you like the video. And also if you haven't already and you'd like to see more readings like this, especially moving into the new year, I want to bring in more art magic and more educational videos, then definitely feel free to subscribe to see the different readings and sort of art magic that I put out. Also, if you want to get some art magic of your own, moving and grooving, then definitely feel free to check out the different offerings I have down below for snail mail readings, where I can answer any question or query on your mind that I actually send a reading to you in the mail for. And I also have some Yule spell and ritual papers right now for the winter solstice. And I also will have more in the new year to check out as well. So feel free to check those out and support the channel how and wherever you'd like to. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 2, if you've decided to choose this piece of Carnelian, then this is the pile for you. Alongside all of the different decks we're going to use today, the tarot deck that you chose is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. Such a beautiful choice, one of my favorite decks. Of course, all of my decks are some of my favorites, but Very curious to see what Spirit is going to be bringing forward for you today. We're, like I said, going to be using lots of different decks. I'm not even sure which decks I'm going to be playing around with because I'm just going to pick and choose as Spirit kind of brings me forward towards them. And if you do enjoy this format, this is kind of experimental for me, so if you do enjoy this format, I might do it even more. So you're going to have to let me know in the comments down below or by liking this video. That really does help. And yeah. Feel free to get yourself cozy and settled. All of the decks that I do get up to using today will be in the description down below if you're curious. We're going to be doing a yes or no question at the end as well, so feel free to brew on your question if you don't have one already. And if you do, stay tuned for the end as we will be doing a little charm cast for that. So if you're settled, we're going to get right into it. So what does Spirit have coming in for you? Group 2. So this might be over the next couple of months. Also, if you'd like to, you're welcome to light a candle or call in your own guides for this. If you'd like to, you can pause the video. But we're going to see what they be bringing forward for you. So we have the 7 of Torches right off the bat. The 7 of Torches is quite a chaotic one, especially in this deck. You can see all of these torches flying around, lots of energy, bing-bonging. It reminds me of a pinball machine, almost sort of like your own brain is maybe pinballing on a ton of different choices, ton of different ways in which you can go. But also the 7 of Torches is a lot about defending yourself and sticking up for yourself and sticking up for the ideas and passions and beliefs that you hold, dear and close to your heart. So we're going to see how that relates to any other cards that Spirit wants to bring forward for you, Group 2. So we also have the Mage here, or the Magician, which definitely is standing up in your power even more, right? We have the 7 of Torches, confidence, standing in your power, even with all this ping-ponging energy. It's almost like even with the world going crazy, ping-ponging around you, you're still very solid, you're still very centered, you're still very resourceful and capable. And so I want to see what else Spirit wants to tell you. Okay, so we've got 2 more showing up here. The 7 of Cups. So we've got 2 7s showing up here. And when I was looking at this card, it reminded me of the 7 of Cups. So I wasn't surprised that showed up. And then you also have the Princess of Torches. Okay, loving the energy you guys have coming forward. It is so bold, confident. And even if you're not feeling super confident about whatever it is that you're having a little bit of doubt about right now, Spirit is here to tell you that you're way more capable than you think. You've got way more in your corner than you think. And a lot of it just has to do with mindset and like a shift and change there. Because they're showing even this Princess of Swords, they are like walking on fire. They are walking on fire. So this is just telling me that Spirit really thinks you're more capable than you think. They think you're like far more able to go through whatever situation it is that you have possibly going on right now, where everything's ping-ponging around you, where you have this feeling to like, this is what I'm getting here. We have one card here with the 7 of Torches, where they're kind of skating through all of these ping-ponging wands, and all this fiery energy. It almost feels like someone else is very much fired up around you, or the world is very fired up around you, right? This could be big picture, little picture, kind of depends on how you're zooming in or out on that. But then you can also see like outwardly, it honestly feels like both, because if you look at the Princess of Torches, we've got like comets and meteors, like things that feel very like the stuff you see in the news, the stuff you see in society, the stuff that you see surrounding your social media feed, right? All of that kind of stuff kind of ping-ponging around you and creating a lot of chaos in your mind or around you, in the environment that you're in. But then this feels more like home life, or it feels something much more personal that's also ping-ponging around. These two might be like completely connected. It could be something very much connected, or it could be something separate. But regardless, Spirit is showcasing that like, even though the world is chaotic and crazy right now in your life, or may soon be, right? This could also be them giving you a little bit of like an edge or a warning here. Or like a PSA, that you're totally capable of getting through this situation. And you're also with the resourcefulness that I'm getting here, the Magician tells you not only that, but you have a ton of willpower, and you also have a lot of things in your corner to help you, a lot of resources in your corner to help you through any situation that you may find yourself being ping-ponged in, whether that's someone in your life, whether that is, therapy or group therapy, or going to certain resources, going to community events, by literally dancing in your room at 3 a.m., whatever it is, right? There are resources and things around you and things to support you that you can totally lean on over the next few months. It kind of feels like over the next few months versus weeks. Like, I don't feel like this is something that is going to end very quickly, especially with something so overarching as this card is showcasing. But yeah, as you can see, they're very, very resourceful. They've got all of the cups, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles in their hands. So I definitely think you have that as well. And then the Seven of Cups I find really interesting, because the Seven of Cups, where we have all this ping-ponging happening here with the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Cups has more to do with diving deep to explore something within your emotions, or to explore something that you felt was too deep or too far or too hard to ever reach. And the other thing too is the Seven of Cups can sometimes talk about having too many options or too many choices. As you can see, they're diving deep, but because they're diving and they only have a certain amount of time to be underwater, right, they have to kind of make a choice or only choose a few to take back up with them. So it can also be telling you that there's a lot of resources in your corner right now, for sure, and maybe you're feeling like that you're underwater and that you only get a few of them. But if you think about it, you can just keep diving back down, right? Who says you can't go back again? So I really feel like Spirit is just reminding you that whatever you think you have in your corner, you have more. You have even more. You just got to keep diving back down, diving deeper to find it, and knowing that it's not necessarily always the easiest places to get support, right? Sometimes that means making a call or reaching out or asking for help, but the help is there nonetheless. That being said, what else does Spirit want to tell you? I'm gonna pull from the Threadbound Oracle here. I was really feeling this deck for you guys, so we're gonna see. Like I said, we're gonna be using all different kinds of decks. I'm not using the same ones as Group 1, so we're gonna see what's coming in for you, Group 2 from Spirit. I've been doing that a lot today. Group 2 from Spirit. What else do you have coming in that Spirit wishes to share with you? So we've got even more support coming in here with the Three of Ink, the Well. This always makes me think of the Three of Cups card. It says abundance, joy, and of course, look at that, resourcefulness. So there's resources in your community right, this makes me think of like three friends hanging out, chilling, finding comfort in each other. And then the abundance and joy is just telling you too that they can give you, they're more of a resource than you think when it comes to not only helping you navigate the situation, but helping to also see joy in life, to see more than just the fire and the wands and all this very turmoil kind of energy, and showcasing, when you mix it all together, it kind of creates so much more balance. That being said, you also have the Six of Thread stitch, repetition, rhythm, and technique. So this could also be something in your life in terms of your habits that you could take advantage of and could be a really good resource for you. Maybe that if it's like the news, or if it's like on your phone or social media, maybe it's getting off an hour before bed, or, working towards some sort of habit that can help you to feel safer and better in that way. Right? There's multiple resources around for you, but also doing like repetitive tasks or things that can get you out of your head. So maybe, reading a book or watching a movie, or, like I said, listening to music at 3 a.m. and having your own little party, whatever works for you. I will say the latter is one of my favorites. But again, everyone is different, so there's definitely some sort of habit that might be really beneficial for you to kind of take up right now when it comes to navigating this more chaotic turmoil energy. Alongside that, I'm going to pull you a card from the the Citadel Oracle. I'm curious what archetype maybe is coming through from Spirit or from you right now, or even where this turmoil is coming from. So I want to see just a little bit more clarity and information for you, group 2. I don't feel like it's those two. Group 2. Definitely feel free to send your own energy in. Kind of feel like there's one more in here, so I'm going to pull another card. But you have the Sentinel so far with determination and certainty. And then you also have the Herald, small regrets and longing. Interesting. This adds a whole different layer. I don't usually get these cards very often, and I've never had them together, so I'm just taking a second to really feel them out. What I know about the Sentinel, I believe that's how you say it, is that they're like the guard, right? They're the one who is very determined to keep watch, to keep safety of something. And then on top of that, you have the Herald with small regrets, longing. The snakes are also giving me this feeling of like the temptation of things that are sort of or not even like temptation, maybe that's not really the right word, but this feeling of like something that is sort of toxic or poisonous to you, right? And sort of because I'm seeing like this little collar here too, it's making me think that there's something in your life that's kind of got like a hold on you and is trying to, again, like whether that's within those habits, whether that's within something happening both in the outermost like societal level or very, very close to you, like someone in your life that's causing this turmoil and upset. I feel like this is showcasing like we can protect ourselves. There are definitely ways to do so. And the Sentinel is giving me this feeling too of like with that determination, it's making me think that you might have to put down this boundary and put down this boundary or put down this boundary with yourself or with others to really give yourself a little bit of self-care. That could be through, like I said, taking up some sort of habit that could really help you and benefit you by like getting off your phone or, literally touching some grass or going for walks or whatever it might be that gets you just sort of out of your head or out of that space or, out of that chaos. But also needing to put up those boundaries in order to tell someone, hey, this is not okay, or this is not what I'm after, or just being very clear, right? We have certainty, and that's making me think of like clarity as well. So it definitely feels like there are things in your power right now that you can do to help, either mitigate this situation or to help, guard yourself from this situation and to, guard your own well-being. But of course, I want to look a little further, so we're going to pull some charms here to finish off the reading portion, but we are going to do that yes or no question at the end, so keep your eyes peeled and your mind peeled for what that question might be. But let's go ahead and pull some charms here first to get some more information. So definitely feel free to connect with them here, and let's mix them up. Okay, so we didn't get a ton of charms, just was feeling a couple of them, but what I found interesting, and I'll go ahead and zoom you in so you can really see this here, but what I found interesting is you have this heart, this yellow heart, falling over here next to the yellow heart charm. So there is somebody within this like 3 of elixirs, or 3 of ink, that is trying to really hold space for you. Someone whose maybe favorite color is yellow, or they're very joyous. They might have a very young spirit to them, right? There's something about this color yellow that's coming through. Also, yellow is making me think too of showcasing like yellow flags in something. Someone who doesn't have maybe all of the red flags, but I feel like there's someone who can see from a better perspective than maybe you're able to see right now about someone in your life that might be causing this turmoil, especially since we also have with this Herald and next to the guarding that you have here, right? I'm seeing you as this card and this card is the turmoil, and the fact that you have a key between them is telling me that, and the fact that it's pointing towards you, is that someone might be trying to, again, try to break down those layers, trying to break down those boundaries. And an important thing to remember about boundaries is the people who are trying their hardest to push back against your boundaries and push back and try to break them down is because they're benefiting from those boundaries being down. There's something on the other side of that boundary that you're putting up that they want some sort of control, power, a resource, whatever it is, but they're trying to benefit from the other side of it. So I feel like someone right now is definitely trying to use power or control or authority over you in order to push these boundaries down. But Spirit is telling you, you've got people in your corner that are going to be able to show you how to look at the situation a little bit better, or also just reminding yourself to keep putting those boundaries. It's going to make a difference, and it's important for you right now. You also have the what do I call this? The light bulb charm. Took me a minute, but the light bulbs. This makes me think of like an idea, right? Oh, I've all of a sudden got an idea. And that idea is between these habits and the resourcefulness of the mage or magician. So when I see those two combining together, it's making me think too that if you don't have an idea of what this habit or repetitive behavior might be, that I think you're going to come to know what that is very soon. You're going to have like an aha moment about that. So with that all in mind, those are all of the charms and cards that you have. But like I said, we're going to move to that yes or no question. So I'm going to get that all set up for you real quick and be right back. All right, so I have it all set up for you here, and I have the charm here that we're going to go ahead and cast on to the cards here in a moment to see if it is a yes, a no, a try again, a better, or a maybe, all of which are possible answers. Feel free to pause and really send in your question here now, but I do want to remind you that this is a collective reading, so, take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, right? And we're going to see what the answer is for you. So here we go. Group 2, the answer to their question with Spirit is... Ooh, this has been happening a little bit today. You got a extreme better, right? We didn't just get better, we got it extreme better. So this is definitely, it's not a yes, it's not a no, it's not a maybe, it's definitely not a try again. It's whatever you're thinking that you wanted to get, whatever the best scenario is, it's going to be even better than that. It's going to do even better. It's going to have better results than you even think. So this is already really exciting to see. So if you did enjoy this reading though, do be sure to give this video a like, and definitely let me know in the comments down below. Feedback is super important. What would you like to see in the new year as we're heading towards the new year, but also how you enjoyed this new format. Do you want to see it again? Would you like to see it with other decks? Maybe you guys could choose the decks on a community poll. I'd love to hear. Definitely let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you aren't already subscribed and you're interested in pick a card readings, or you really like art, magic, creativity, and charms, definitely be sure to subscribe, as I put out lots of different readings and I put out new videos every single Monday on different topics like these. You're also welcome to support the channel with the Kindred tip jar down below. Everything that goes in that tip jar goes right back into the channel for other decks and supplies that we can use in readings like these. And I also have some Yule spell and ritual papers that you can check out if you want, as well as other ways to enhance your magic in your life through snail mail readings, all of which I'll have listed down below if you want to look a little further. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Group 2, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye! Hello Group 3, if you've decided to choose this piece of Sodalite, then this is the pile for you. And we are going to be using several different oracle decks and all different kinds of supplies here, which I'll have listed in the description down below. But the tarot deck of choice that you have chosen today is the Gentle Tarot by Mari in the Sky. So very, very excited to be working with this one. It's very gentle. It's really wonderful. It is the deck I actually used for my card of the year. So I've been working with this one quite a lot. So I'm very excited to work with it with you all today. But also, I would love to hear your feedback as we move through this. Definitely let me know in the comments down below, because I've never done a reading like this where we are just going to be hopping around playing with several different decks. None of the piles are going to be the same. They're all going to have different decks and supplies being used. So I would love to hear your thoughts to see how that all works out as we work with spirit. And if you do work with certain spirit guides, you're welcome to call on them right now. If you work with those beyond the veil, gods, goddesses, all of that, definitely feel free to connect with them before we start. But we're going to look into what spirit is bringing forward to you right now in this moment in general. It could be something in the next few weeks, the next few months, who knows. So feel free to get cozy, get right into this, and let's go. Group 3. What is spirit bringing in for you? Group 3. So right off the bat, we have the Root of Wands, one of my favorite cards here. The Root of Wands is really cool because it talks a lot about that curiosity, right? Like, as you can see, this little animal here is reaching out towards the fire. It's kind of like a little 3-year-old who doesn't know that fire is hot, right? They're reaching out anyway. They're getting curious about the world. They're experimenting, playing with that tactile feel. So there's something that you're exploring, maybe a new skill, maybe you're playing around with the unknown, or allowing yourself to experience something, even if you know it's hot, even if you know it's dangerous, even though if you know it's a little bit of a risk. Maybe playing around in that risk, in that unknown, and seeing where that curiosity takes you. So there is something about curiosity showing up here for you, group 3. But what else is spirit presenting to you? So we also have the Hermit showing up here. Very similar, not exactly the same creature, but as you can tell, they're kind of similar with their pointy ears and their tails. So they have sort of a similar feeling, which is making me think that they definitely represent different sides of you. One side that's getting curious and wants to reach out and touch the fire, touch the flame. Whereas the other is the Hermit, trying to stay in or trying to work through something that might be holding them back from it, right? Sometimes we think of the Hermit as being a card of, just being in your own, being introverted, which it totally can be in our modern society, but it also represents going inward, looking at our inner universe, our inner spirit, our inner soul, and kind of doing a little bit of soul searching, a little shadow work, checking in with ourselves to see why and maybe what might be holding us back from exploring and experiencing the world, in that tactile way. So we're gonna see maybe where there might be a bit of a blockage there, but we're gonna see what else spirit might be bringing forward. So, goodness. We also have here the Judgment card alongside the 3 of Wands. So these are all of the cards that spirit has coming forward, and I totally see this for you. So there's definitely something that spirit is trying to tell you in terms of a level up that you're kind of experiencing right now. The 3 of Wands has a very similar feeling to the Root of Wands, both being in the same suit, where the Root of Wands is reaching forward, getting curious, touching the fire, touching the flame, working through that risk. The 3 of Wands here is looking towards that same fire, right? The sun in the sky. So it's something still quite distant. It's not something as close to you yet, right? It's not something that's right in your reach maybe yet, but a skill or something that you're learning and working your way up to. Because we have the 3 of Wands, which represents a journey that you're still on, but you're just embarking on. You're just starting to get from the stage of planning it, thinking about it, maybe even ruminating on it, but not necessarily making a step forward. And this is talking about how spirit is saying you're ready for the next step. You're ready to start embarking on the actual journey and seeing where it takes you. So I really feel like those are connected. But then at the heart of it also, you have Judgment. And what I love about this card is we have this snake here. And below it, you can see the shedded piece of the skin of the snake. And this little meteor or asteroid showing up here as well, which makes me think that spirit is kind of like coming in to help guide you or to help move you through this situation. But Judgment is all about a level up. It's about shedding your skin for a level up, a new skin, a new leaf on life kind of feeling, right? These are really big, major changes or major transformations and shifts that are leveling you up, right? So these aren't necessarily that it can't be a small thing that causes the big transformation. It doesn't have to be something like a graduation, a birthday, or something big, but it's big to you. It's personal and big to you. And I think that's the most important thing when we're looking at the Judgment card, that it doesn't have to be something that society deems as a transformation or something worthy of transformation. But that you are currently shedding, purging something so that you may level up and make room for you to level up somewhere in life or to evolve. And that evolution lies in you sort of heading towards the sun, heading towards this fire, taking a little bit of a risk and seeing where it takes you, right? A very playful, curious, young, spirited nature as well is coming through. So we're going to see what else Spirit has coming through for you. So I'm curious, which deck do I want to use? Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit here, but you know what? I was really called to using my watercolor affirmations. I used to use these all the time in my readings, and then I felt like I was maybe overusing them a little bit. So I took a bit of a step back, but they called to me today. So I'm actually going to see if maybe they were calling to your pile. So we're going to see if any other affirmations or messages are coming through from Spirit here. So the ones that we got here, we have family and friends, right? The snake is pointing towards family and friends. So this either means that Spirit is telling you that family and friends are going to be a huge part in this evolution, this support that you might be having. Or if they aren't very supportive, they might be what you are shedding. But since it didn't fall at the shed part of it, it's making me think that family and friends are another part of what are helping you to be able to shed the skin, something that you're looking quite clearly at even. So we have that showing up here. When it comes to find, seek, and connect and pay it forward, I find really interesting as well, because find, seek, and connect has a lot to do with, as you can see, connections in the sky. It kind of reminds me of the meteors that you had up here, right? So there's connections, connecting the dots, finding clarity, seeing where what was unseen before, but actually had lots of this whole network of connection. And that's what's coming through with, you know, what you're wanting to maybe put your paw on, what you're wanting to, you know, explore and dive deeper in for the risk of it. And is still quite unknown. And what you might be seeking towards can be something as easy as just networking within your, like literally looking for a network within your career, you know, trying to find connections there. And it even could be that someone might be paying it forward to help you, right? There might be someone you've helped out in the past who's going to help you now. But when it comes to this, could also be you connecting with a, you know, local community, or by going to an art class and finding community there, or finding and seeking new friends or friendships, right? Whatever it might be, doesn't really matter, but you're definitely finding new connections. And like I said, it feels like someone might be helping to pay it forward. This could also be Spirit too. It could just be in general that Spirit is there to help move you forward. I'm also hearing like pave it forward, almost like they're trying to pave your path a little bit more to help you in seeking out what it is that you want to put your hand on here. It definitely also feels, like I said, a community or connections that you're seeking. So that gave us a little bit more context, but I want to see if there's anything else Spirit wants to bring forward. So I think we might pull a Prairie Majesty Oracle card here and see what it has to say. So these have a lot of really beautiful prairie nature spirits. As someone who lives, you know, only a mile or two away from a natural prairie, I absolutely love the prairie creatures. I had a feeling this one would come out. I just knew it. So we have coyote with play, and we have lots of little like kind of same sort of creature here, right? It almost feels like they're not the same creature, obviously, but spiritually they feel very soul connected. But yeah, you have the coyote or the coyotes, and it says, "What energizes me?" And it almost feels like what I'm looking at here and what I find really interesting is it almost feels like a sunrise, and then you also have this sunrise happening here, although some of you might see it as a set, but it feels like seeing as you are evolving, transforming, moving to that next step and that next level. Of course, a sunrise really makes a lot of sense. And what is energizing you? This flame, this fire, what is literally the ball of fire growing in the sky. So yes, it could be as simple as literally getting out and seeing the sun more for some of you, but Also, it just feels like there's something in your life, this young, spirited nature that you want to nurture and grow, right? Evolution does not necessarily mean getting older, getting wiser, getting deeper, you know? Sometimes it's getting back to our roots. Sometimes it's remembering that SpongeBob was our favorite show. Sometimes it's just being more optimistic about the world, right? Or having this naive view of the world and seeing what happens when you touch fire, right? So it really feels like you have this like itch you want to scratch, and that itch is wanting to play, and it's going to give you so much more energy. It's going to remind you of what gets you going in the world, right? What gets you going. And I think that shedding that skin isn't just about gaining a new level, but it's also about shedding away all of this fear, all of this literally fear of the unknown or fear of the known, right? Sometimes when we get older, we're like, oh yeah, well, I could hurt my knee if I run too fast, or I could, this could happen. I could, there's so many answers that we now know the answers to. Does that make sense? Like kids would just whop into the wall because they don't know any better. And I feel like there's things in your life that you've gotten to such a solid place, such a wise place, that curious nature has been kind of lost. The magic has been kind of lost. And I think that is going to energize you again. I think you're going to be reminded of what truly brings you energy in this life. And I think a lot of it is going to come down to, finding that inner fire again, finding what gets you curious, what gets you out of bed every morning, what gives you passion and excitement. And it doesn't have to be big, right? It can be something so, so small, but it's a spark, right? So we're gonna see what else you pull, but we do have a coyote. I love this card. But I want to pull one more. You know what? I'm gonna surprise myself and actually pull out a deck I didn't have out already. So we're gonna play around with Molly Roberts' Art Magic deck here, because you have so much creative, inspiring, and playful energy. It just felt right. So this is a lot of playful energy, and I absolutely love the young spirit that Molly already brings forward. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna pull two, honestly. I'm gonna pull more than one. I wouldn't be surprised that this deck would come forward anyway, or I'm not surprised, rather. Are there any other cards that wish to come forward for group 3? I feel like there's one more. It might be this one. So these are in the perspective of art magic, or, actually using witchcraft and that kind of stuff. So if that's not really your thing, you totally are welcome to ignore these messages, or just think of them more generally. But we're gonna see, first off, this is the back of the cards in case they give you any information there, but when you just realize you weren't recording the audio. So anyway, we're gonna keep going. Sorry about the crappy camera audio up to this point, but regardless, we're gonna keep looking. We're gonna keep looking. Oh my goodness. Look at the card that you got. You got cathartic art, and look at the picture. They're literally holding the flame. It almost looks like the same creature. That's so neat. It definitely feels like Spirit is bringing you towards this art form. Oh my gosh, not even chaotic art, but that came through. Cathartic art, right? Really going for it. Splattering paint at the wall. Yes, you're gonna get messy. Yes, you're gonna get, everything the adult part of you is telling you probably you shouldn't be doing. But there's something that you need to follow. There's something that your young you needs to follow, and kind of get the chaos out from it. We also have Not Magic showing up here with this little owl. So that is making me think of the wise part of you, right? The wise, knowledgeable adult part of you that's telling you, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Oh, it's going to be messy. I'm going to get paint on my floor, right? Obviously, paint isn't necessarily what you have to be doing here, but like in the idea of something in your life that you're worried that you're going to mess up or get messy or do the unadult thing, it definitely feels like that's where that young nature is coming through, and there's some sort of battle between these two cards. Not Magic also being just like a knot would be, right? A knot in our stomach, something holding us back, something literally knotting us back and tying us back. So really at the heart of everything that we're getting here, and I'll go ahead and hold these up in case you want to actually read through them, and you're welcome to pause on them, but at the heart of this entire reading so far, we're really just getting a ton to like get out of your comfort zone, play around, see what spirit is trying to show you, and not even just spirit, but it really feels like your younger self, your playful and youthful spirit, and see where it's trying to take you, right? That being said, let's go ahead and pull you some charms to finish off this part of the reading. But like I said, we're going to do that yes or no question, so stay tuned for that here in a moment. But we are going to pull some of these charms. So do feel free to send your energy on into them, and let's see which charms come back for you. Ooh. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a little look-see in here. So we have a few different things. First off, we have a number showing up here. We have the number of 5. 5 meaning change. Something needs to change with this knot in your stomach. This knot, this blockage from your creativity, your younger self. On top of that, you're feeling very bolted down as well on your younger self. It feels like a really big weight, right, on your younger self right now. Almost feeling like they're sort of trapped within or bolted down. But they're still kicking, they're still doing their thing. Stars being a very beautiful point. We even had stars showing up here several different times, right? Finding and seeking, connecting with spirit. Your younger spirit really is honestly, I feel like the spirit that's coming forward right here. Your younger self is trying to come forward to talk to you for sure in this reading. Otherwise, it's just spirit in general trying to showcase that to you. That being said, we also have the fault in our stars charm, but instead of it being like, what I love about this charm is it talks about, right, that our faults, the things that we think are, childish or, irrational, naive, those sorts of things, those faults that others might see in us, they're really, they're precious, they're stars, they're a part of us, they are worthy of our time and our energy to nurture and give love towards, right? Just like we would look after a friend who has faults, right? We're not going to put them down for that. We're going to lift them up and give them support and care. So that's really what's showing up here. I just feel like at the heart of all of the charms that you got here is it's really just saying, hey, I'm here, connect with me, have a little date with your younger self, play with some macaroni art or something, and just connect with them, because they definitely are seeking a connection with you. So with that said, let's move on to your yes or no question. So I'm going to get that set up for you right now. Okay, so I have it all set up for you all to look into your charm cast here for your yes or no charm cast with this little charm. So whatever question you have, feel free to start sending it in, start really connecting with that question so that we can see the answer to it. Do keep in mind that this is a collective reading though, so, put a little grain of salt in this, keep a little bit in the back of your pocket here, because, since this is a collective reading, there's lots of different voices, lots of different questions coming in, and it's important to use this more as a tool than a stone, written in stone, yes or no. So we're going to see what comes through here though, and let's go ahead and drop your question in. So the answer to the question with spirit for group 3 is... Okay, so we got a strong yes. So depending on how you phrase your question, right, sometimes that's not as exciting, but most of the time a yes in the majority is usually pretty positive or very optimistic. So I'm hoping that's really good for you all. So that is the answer to your question with yes. Otherwise, like I said, this is a collective reading, so take it with a little bit of a grain of salt here and see what happens. That being said, thank you so much for joining me here today to look into your reading. If you did enjoy this, if you liked the format of choosing your own deck and playing around with different things with spirit here with me, definitely let me know, because I'd love to do these readings in the future. So let me know in the comments down below how it worked out for you or what you saw in the reading. I truly would love to hear. And if you did enjoy, do be sure to give this video, I don't know why I did it like that, but do give this video a like. It really does help the channel so much, and I truly do appreciate it. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, and you like pick a card readings, you like art magic, and also maybe some charm casting master guides, then definitely feel free to subscribe, as I put out new readings every single Monday. And if you haven't already looked into the Kindred tip jar, the snail mail readings, and the Yule spell and ritual papers to enhance your own magic or your own questions to be answered, then definitely feel free to check out all the offerings I have down below as well on those. They really help out the channel so much. Everything that goes into the tip jar goes right back into the channel for decks and supplies here for readings like these. And I really, truly do appreciate it. Thank you all for hanging out with me this year. I will be back in the new year. Like I said, I'm going to take a week off just for the holidays next week, but I will be right back that next Monday, which I believe is either right before the new year or in the new year. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.